Gibbity Bop Wednesday. Tim and Joel call it in the ring. Chamber surprise sounds like a really disgusting dinner. How are you doing, Joel?
Explain to me how a chamber surprise sounds like a really disgusting dinner. Is it like a Captain Boyle thing where like it's all fish and weird crab?
Yeah, it's
and
just like whatever you have around, you shove it into some sort of weird device that some psychopath in your family has invented as a new cooking utensil, and it has multiple chambers, and it just slams a randomized assortment of whatever you put into the chamber into the cooking vessel, and then out comes a surprise.
So it's like it's a souffle. No, it's not. No, it's like a Sunday noodle bake.
Yeah, like a bad casserole maker, but like where you let chance dictate what your casserole is going to contain, which sounds like a nightmare.
That sounds about right. What isn't a nightmare though? Tossing a thumbs up on this video and probably watching my face get really blurry from a connection issue. But hey, here we are.
My God, you've liquefied before my very eyes. It
wouldn't be terrifying. The first time. It'll fix itself. Leave us a comment, by the way, if you're hanging out in the chat. Good to see you. How you doing? You can subscribe to us here at Fightful Overbooked. That we're here every single day dropping content. But Tim and I are here every single Wednesday and Sunday at noon Eastern, doing a thing, talking about wrestling, talking about the nonsense. That's what we do. And we can also take your super chats and your humper chats. Go to humperchats.com, drop a super chat. It's that little $ in the chat window here on youtube.com/Fightful Overbooked. Go ahead and do that. And by the way, you want to join our Discord?
Do it. I want you to join our Discord. Do it for me.
I'll start dropping links maybe on the next episode. But if you want to join our Discord, you can go ahead and you can tell us you want to join our Discord. Tim, here we are. It's the wrestling. It's the day of the Mondays and the Wednesdays. How you doing?
I'm all right.
Yeah. It's casserole.
Yeah. Yeah, we got there.
Okay, so this is the Wednesday show. The Wednesday show is typically it's Monday Night Raw, it's NXT, and it's a Dynamite preview. So we got a little bit on the bone. What do you want to start? You want to start with last night's NXT? You want to move over to Monday Night Raw and then go? Do you want to shock the world and do AEW preview first? What do you want to do?
Did you just compare wrestling content to meat? Like, was that the analogy there? We got a little bit on the bone. Yes, correct. We got a very lean rabbit's worth of meat over the last couple of days. A very sparse animal, but it nourished us sufficiently to talk about, I guess. It was fine.
Have you ever eaten rabbit?
Yeah, it's mediocre.
Very delicious. Have you ever had alligator?
It's good in a stew. No, I haven't had alligator.
Alligator is delicious. Rooster is another one that's really good.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's gamey. It's good stuff.
It's awful bird.
All right, where are we starting? You want to start on Monday? You want to talk about Raw?
Yeah, let's talk about.
We got to talk about Elimination Chamber stuff. We got to talk about the Women's Chamber. So, now we got a real big mix. You want to let's? How about we open? Let's do NXT first and really lose the audience right away. How's that?
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
All right. Dusty Cup semifinals. Anyone with a pulse could have figured it out. It's grizzled young veterans versus the Creed brothers. And again, we've been saying it since the beginning. It's going to be a good match, but Creed brothers are going to the final and probably going to win because the entire play is good old American wrestling team, the Creed brothers, taking on the pure blood Imperium.
Yeah, good old American wrestlers named Brutus and Scutus or whatever the hell. What's the other?
Julius.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Were they named by Vince himself? I feel like every billionaire has this weird issue associated with their megalomania that they just have an obsession with the Roman Empire. Why are they named? Are those their real names?
No.
Yeah, Brutus and Julius. Piss off. I feel like I've known that and had this same reaction before, but
I think you have. And quite frankly, it's not even, they don't even know Roman history. Someone told them. I just think someone told them. Someone told them during practice and they were just like, all right.
It just feels like every billionaire has a weird obsession with the Roman Empire. I don't know. Anyway.
Oh, again, fun match. Drake and oh my God.
The other one.
Gibson.
Trent.
Drake and Trent.
Man, they're killing it here in America.
Wow. GYV are absolutely taking it to the Creeds. The Creeds, however, are attacking the neck, because that's what you do in a match. You attack the neck, take the windpipe.
The source of most men's power is their neck.
That's true. Regardless, Creed brothers eventually win. I do like one thing that they did in the match, and that was figuring out who has to get who's the legal man in the match. One of the brothers taps the other one and is like, "Oh, no, I'm the legal man. Let me hit that last second lariat to the ground and get the pin. Otherwise, you get DQ'd or whatever it would have been." I like that. That was a good touch.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, I actually liked. I think it was Scootus. I don't know which one. The leaner one of the two took the like clothesline from the shoulders and then had to like fight through the pin. I actually like that spot too.
Yeah, and again, the Creed brothers are growing at an immense pace. They're coming through on 2.0 and actually, showing that they are quite good at this game.
Oh yeah, and we know like they're 100% winning this. Like that is where this is going, because the Diamond Mine needs to win an actual, thing for them to matter at all.
Yeah.
So
it's about time for them to win. So that's Creed brothers. They're moving to the finals. We'll tell you who goes in with them to the finals in a second. If you haven't watched NXT 2.0 yet this week, spoiler alert, it's exactly who you think it is. Mackenzie Mitchell has got Cora Jade, and then all of a sudden, Valentina Feroz and Yulisa Leon show up. And Raquel Gonzalez joins them, and they're all just speking in Spanish. And unfortunately, my Spanish.
Two of them are speaking in Spanish because once again, one of them speaks Portuguese.
That's right.
And maybe she does know Spanish as well, but like it anyway.
Very strange. And then Cora Jade is just like the little lost American girl being like, okay. And then for some reason, Gonzalez is just like, only I can call you that. Does anyone in the chat know what Feroz and Leon called Jade? Because I want to know. And what can only
know. I might have been able to like figure it out, but I wasn't paying that much attention.
Very strange. Don't know what was going on there. Wendy Chu takes on Tiffany Stratton. I poor Wendy Chu loses this match.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Tiffany Stratton getting through it. The very last, I like the little twist of Maru that she does as her finisher, I guess. That was cool. But aside from that, yeah, it's rough.
Yeah, exactly. It's just nap time elbow drops. They're really leaning into the whole Tiffany Chu, or sorry, not Tiffany Chu, Wendy Chu. I'm on a roll today. Wendy Chu has a sleeping gimmick. They're really going into that.
I mean, that's kind of funny. It's a good gimmick. I mean, it's a good gimmick if you don't mind jobbing your entire career. So,
well, regardless, Tiffany Stratton wins the match. I guess they're really trying to push Tiffany Stratton as someone that you should keep an eye out on, especially when it comes to NXT.
Which, like, I don't know, out of those two women, I feel like Wendy Chu's the more surefire hit, but anyway.
Yep. I would much rather see Wendy Chu get her flowers because she's an incredible wrestler. And you know what? Let's just call up Wendy Chu right now. Get her.
Yeah,
get her
let this last match. Let her go out on her back for Tiffany Stratton, but immediately go to the main roster because like that's where she belongs rather than this.
Exactly. You and I approached Draco Anthony, who ditched his coffee run and early gym appointment. And
when he had the toque on in the coffee shop, he made me think of that guy from The Wire, like in the first season, like the manager drug dealer, but. Then he took the hat off and then his muscles. And I was just like, oh, well, there goes that. He's just another wrestler guy is what he ended up looking like to me.
It's fine. Draco Anthony then has a match with Pete Dunne. And Pete Dunne beats up Draco Anthony because Draco Anthony still can't figure out that going to the gym at 5:30 in the morning doesn't mean you'll win a match at 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah, they're like, well, he got his workout in before the match. And I was like, that's a terrible idea. Stretch maybe, but don't like gas your muscles out. Like, what the hell?
Don't know what we're doing with that. Before the match, Pete Dunne did a whole thing about, finishing his business with Tony D'Angelo where it started in a steel cage, which is great. I'm fine with that.
With a bunch of stuff zip tied to it.
Yeah. So after the match, during the match, Tony D'Angelo shows up and he's got a crowbar and he goes after Pete Dunne, and then Pete Dunne breaks his fingers because that's what he does. He's Pete Dunne. He breaks your fingers, and then I don't know why he has a Liverpudlian accent, but that's what we get. I mean, I was watching a Beatles thing earlier. Maybe that's why I have a little. It's just meeting the Beatles now. So Pete Dunne and Tony D'Angelo is going to happen in a cage, but now it's going to be Full Metal Mayhem. I'm sorry, it's not Full Metal Mayhem. It's called a weaponized steel cage match. What a name. What a delicious name for a
mess
steel
on the
cage
metal
match.
match. Like, I don't know. It's just, it looks so cluttered and shitty every time. Like, I hate when they do this because, like, sure, use the weapons, but the way they affix them to the cage always looks so bad.
Yeah, it's just such a strange thing that they're going to do. I don't know how they're going to shoot it either. They're going to do a bunch of like cameras shooting down from the top of the cage and inside, or it's going to be one entire, the front row of the cage is going to be empty. It's going to be surrounded in the three sides with stuff.
Yeah, or they'll do the bucket shtick. They've done that before too, where they just shove them all in a bucket in the corner.
No, I think they'll hang them. I think they'll hang them because it's a weaponized steel cage match. Technically, didn't Adam Cole and Johnny Gargano do that in Toronto? Wasn't that the third fall?
Pretty sure it's one of them. Yeah. Like, I don't know. You want to weaponize the steel cage? You put razor wire on the cage or something. Like, you don't, or like, yeah, you make the cage itself more painful than it normally is. Then you've weaponized a steel cage. Otherwise, you're just strapping some bullshit to it.
That's what I want in my life. Anyway, Zoe Stark is trying to convince Io Shirai to find a partner, and I'm sitting there and I'm being like, hey, remember before War Games when you and Kaylee Ray were going for a tag title shot and it didn't happen, and then something happened in the meantime, and Kaylee Ray got a women's championship match, and she happens to be in that championship match tonight, and Io Shirai needs a partner, and she just went off trying to find a partner, so maybe
yes.
Maybe she knows who to ask.
Maybe she knows who to ask. Meanwhile, Zoe Stark is like from the grave, just be like, move on, Io. Like, that's what that felt like to me. Like, I won't be hurt if you move on.
It's very strange.
It's like, why are you so invested in Io Shirai winning the tag team championships with somebody who isn't you? Like, then you will not just, it's not like whoever she finds is going to give you her belt. Like,
and like, what are they going to do? Stark is going to go after Io and Kaylee Ray after they, like, if they win the Dusty Cup?
Yeah, is she going to be jealous and angry after that? Like, what? I don't understand. Anyway,
I don't know what they're doing. Like, it's just a very strange way that they're trying to keep Zoe Stark on screen and relevant, but at the same time, like, Io Shirai's like, I don't like you. And I don't like anybody, but now I have to like two people. That's too many people.
Two people?
You ever tried liking two people? I do not. I don't like that many people.
It's bloody hard.
Like, I like you, and I like my wife. That's probably about it. Chat, you're okay, I guess. Like, what do you want from my life?
I do. Like, I appreciate them keeping Zoe on TV. Like, I have mentioned before, I don't really understand why people completely disappear from the face of the earth if they get injured when, like, half the job is, talking. So like when MVP hurt a rib and disappeared, and it's like, you don't even wrestle. What's going on? But like, there could have been a different way. I feel like, I don't know. It's
Very
fine.
strange.
It's okay.
Grayson Walla's handler Sanga is going to take on LA Knight. Yeah, man, it's really echoing here because I closed the doors that are
solid door. Good.
I've got closet doors that are usually open so that it gets the sound kind of. Anyway, now I got reverberation. Good stuff. Anyway, long story short, we've got LA Knight, taking on Sanga, and I'm sure the chat can follow us with in a match that, you know what, I'm not surprised LA Knight won, but I'm surprised Sanga got beat so quick.
Yeah, it was a good showing. It was decent enough. Then they had their little fisticuffs after the fact. Mm-hmm. LA Knight doing his best Stone Cold was pretty good. Enjoyed that.
Technically, when somebody breaks a restraining order, you immediately have them arrested. Why are we waiting a week? And also, Grayson Waller broke the warrant first.
Yeah, he sure did. And
what are we doing here?
Also, like, you can't just decide to put it up, like the risk of, you can't put it in a match as a stipulation because the judge has to have this final say, not Grayson Waller being like, I'm over it. Like, but he's not over it, which makes it, I don't know, it complicates things.
He's Judge Jerry and Wall Executioner.
Oh, I hated that. Hated all of that. Don't do that again.
LA Knight wins in like 3 minutes because the big man, who, by the way, looks like a silent film villain with his mustache.
That he did. Absolutely. Like that, or a Bond villain from the 60s.
He would have looked perfect with the vaudevillains back in the NXT days when the vaudevillains were a thing. He would have been the perfect like third big man along with those guys. Oh, it
I
would have been
really liked
hilarious.
them. He could have done a tumble. It would have been so fun.
Oh, they could have done a tumbling act with those three. He could have done the strongman thing where he raises both of them up with his hands. That would have been great. If you guys are, first of all, we know that there's someone from WWE who watches our show because they continuously do the things that we talk about.
We know you're out there.
It's getting bad. Like it got to the point where I had to point. What happened? What happened this week that I had to point out they did it again? They had a whole thing. It was the women. No, it was Elimination Chamber. And we're going to talk about it. It was the women's chamber and who's going to win it. And the Brock joining the chamber for the first time and winning that. Like, same thing. Someone's listening to us. Good for us. We're great. Mackenzie Mitchell's got Duke Hudson, and Duke Hudson is apparently a stalker now, or maybe not. I don't know anymore. It's very strange. That's all I got.
Yeah, I don't know. It was odd.
Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about the crossover segment. Let's talk about the championship summit. We stand Tasma as Santos Escobar and Legado del Fantasma are in the ring, and then out comes Braun Breaker, and Braun Breaker does his normal, I'm gonna beat you. Where my dogs at? Yeah, so good for him. It's fine.
Yeah, it was fun.
Braun Breaker's first official NXT championship defense is going to happen next week at Vengeance Day. Sure, looking forward to that. I love Santos Escobar. Everyone knows that. The no questions asked. Then all of a sudden, out comes Dolph Ziggler, makes his return to NXT.
Wasn't expecting that. I'll give him that.
They said it was going to happen, but
was this pre-announced?
No, not exactly. It was kind of teased through digital shorts backstage that nobody watches on socials unless you're like me and you scan your socials most of the day while you're doing other content. That's just what they do. Yeah. So anyway, Dolph Ziggler comes out and cuts a pretty good promo. Thank God he doesn't do the "this should have been me" promo. Instead, he says, you know, the NXT's on Sci-Fi. I'm the guy. I work Tuesdays. Thanks for the payday, Ace. Nice little, you know, inside baseball there. And again, looks like Ziggler is going to get involved in an NXT program, which I don't mind because when
they got to get him a job on all three programs. That's what they're doing.
I think he'll
best damn jobber they got now.
No, the worst part, he's going to beat someone like Ciampa and then get the NXT Championship match.
True.
It's very
and
strange.
lose that, but it's fine. I enjoyed him there. I thought it was good.
Yeah, it was good. I think I'm going to look forward to seeing Ziggler in NXT because it's different.
What happens to Rude?
Who? I never heard of him.
Yeah, that's what happens to Rude.
You know what you do? You have Ziggler have a semi-successful run, doesn't win the NXT Championship, but has two really solid matches, and then he goes back to Rude and just is like, Rude is like, I won the championship. What have you done? And then they break them up. And then Ziggler and Rude have a little feud that nobody really cares about, but the matches are bangers. And then they either get back together or they don't. I don't really care at that point. Just have a match. Rude and Ziggler would have a great match.
Yeah, they're both very, very good. I wish they were being used for something.
Yeah, let's just do that. So Ciampa, Ziggler, Escobar, and Braun Breaker seem to be working some sort of program together, which I think I'm going to enjoy that. I really do.
Yeah, this sounds good. It's going to keep everyone busy for a couple of months. I think like you mentioned, it's going to be Ciampa and Ziggler, and then Ziggler and Breaker.
Exactly. Meanwhile, Sarai takes on Dakota Kai in a match that was really good. I really enjoyed this.
You thought this was good? I thought it was rough.
No, but I like the roughness that these two had. I enjoyed it. The one thing I'm scared of is that when Sarai eventually gets to the main roster, they take away that dropkick. That dropkick through the ropes that she does that beats the shit out of everybody. That's the one.
Including yourself sometimes.
Exactly. As long as she never catches herself on the ropes, she'll be fine. Everyone else has to be careful. It's a badass dropkick though.
Yes.
You didn't like the match?
It was okay.
I enjoyed it.
I don't know. I think I don't know. Sarai is still odd to me.
How so? You don't mind me asking.
Just like doesn't, I don't know. I feel like she doesn't gel really well with the rest of the people there. So I don't know.
It feels like she's trying to figure out what this new character of hers does outside of its like portrayal, outside of her dressing up and then the camera pans and it's a new shot and she comes out in her gear.
Exactly. So there's that, and then I think it's a slightly different style that they're trying to like. I feel like she learned how to wrestle one way, and now NXT is trying to impose.
For sure.
And that I can just feel it in the matches. I don't know what it is. Can't quite put my finger on it, but it's just that's what I feel when I see her wrestle. So not that it's bad. It's just I feel like it's not all the way there yet.
I think to me, the interesting thing will be when she starts interacting with other wrestlers backstage and doesn't just like show you the amulet and say, my grandma gave me this and now I'm a wrestler again.
Yeah, if that even happens. It's like
that's the way it goes. Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes are in the barbershop. This was a really, really, really good promo. Just talking shit about Cameron Grimes. And then there's that one random white dude hanging out in the barbershop being like, I like Cameron Grimes. And everyone being like, I thought you would. They're like, I thought you brought this guy. I thought you brought this guy. It was good. It was a really good promo. Go back and watch it. I'm sure it's on YouTube. And on top of that, we have to blame Carmelo Hayes for something, Tim.
Why? Why do
he keeps evoking the name of Ollie J?
Oh, she's not going away. She'll be back.
She is Poppy 2.0.
This is Poppy. No.
She's Poppy 2.0, and this time it's not Triple H's illegitimate daughter Poppy. No, it's gonna be Carmelo Hayes's girlfriend Ollie J.
Yeah, I feel like it's just whatever. You swapped one for one. I like Poppy's music, but like if you don't know the story of Poppy, it's insane. Like and messed up and sad in ways. So like this is just like whatever. Another weirdly come about musician, largely just created because social media. So
yeah,
one for one, just a different genre.
Exactly. Sorry, I noticed that our friend Drew in the chat had mentioned Ziggler. He didn't know that Ziggler had been in NXT yet. So when NXT used to tape batches for episodes on the network, Ziggler had shown up and done a batch of tapings. It's going to be different for him this time because NXT's live, so he'll have to fly back and forth, but not the first time that Ziggler's worked NXT, which is going to be good.
Yeah.
Indy Hartwell and Dexter Loomis they talked earlier in the day, and then all of a sudden out comes Toxic Attraction and Persia Parada, and then there's this whole altercation surrounding a photo of Indy and Duke Hudson.
Scandalous, a woman and a man together who aren't
Friends.
Married. Wow. Wow.
What are we doing? Is this a battle of friends or is this a battle of tag titles? What is this?
I don't know what's going on. And so this is the one that Persia alluded to, Duke Hudson.
Yes.
So, yeah. Ooh.
Yeah. She loves her some Duke.
This is some pretty this is very high school. Very high school.
Yeah. Speaking of high school, Nikita Lyons didn't go to high school, but she lived in a van down by the river.
Yeah, that explains the level of charisma we're getting out of these promos. Didn't interact with people until the age of 20 something.
It was so bad. I used to beat the shit out of concert goers who were creepy. And I'm like, well, I guess that's kind of like wrestling fans. It's a little different, but I get you.
That doesn't, is that a thing?
I don't know. The rowdy concert goers she would beat up because no, everyone's going to hear the lions roar. I'm like,
you got to be careful when you're doing that. You go on trial in the Czech Republic for murder.
Can we just point out the fact that once again, her mother married a bass player in a band who was not successful? That does not make her a groupie. That makes her someone who felt really bad for the bass player in the band.
Yeah, I don't know what this is. It's nothing is what it is. Like, this is just like, oh, and like I said, there's no charisma there. It's just like,
I just be a kick-ass martial artist. She's got some really cool moves and she's got a really great look. But whatever this story is of like, I lived on the van, I'm like, I don't care.
That not
relatable.
It's not even interesting. That was like a fad for a while, and then a bunch of people killed themselves while they were doing their social media accounts. So it's like sad.
And shout out to whoever was like, get a VW bus. I feel like everybody lived in a VW bus at one point. Buddy, the VW bus was lived in like the 70s. This woman is very clearly a child of like the 90s. Get a Dodge Sprinter van. Get an old like passenger van. This kid's a child of maybe of the 80s because the dad was an 80s band, whatever. My God, I'm
I don't know. Maybe
this shit.
Like the only way this has ended up is just like the 2008 crash led to the van life. That's the only thing that makes sense here, given the ages. So yeah.
And then they dropped us a Briggs and Jensen promo where we're back in high school. because do you remember when you were in high school and you had a crush on somebody and you and your best friend were trying to like get this person to like you? So the guy was being the wingman and you were trying to approach the girl, but then the girl and her best friend were like, yeah, we'll make it a double date. And you're like, that's not what I wanted. I wanted to smash, but here we are. We have to do this as a double date. And now I look like a fool. You remember that happening to you in high school?
I just did the double date. It's easy. That's a good way on the road to smash. Like, it's perfectly reasonable.
High school is a time for experimentation, and obviously these four people just want to experiment with each other.
Nice.
Nice.
Digging the storyline. No notes.
There's nothing to hit other than my face against a wall.
Keep it up. Killing it. Future superstars, every one of them.
I love Casey Catanzaro and Caden Carter. I don't love this character for them. EDM ravers, concert goers. Anyway, Idris Inoue. Okay, go ahead.
The thing with NXT is that they keep looking at things and events and being that. And then the wrestler is like, well, that's a thing or event, not a person. No, that is who you are now. Like one of them saw rage rooms are a thing, and they're like that. Kaylee Ray, who had an identity, a very well established identity in UK. They're just like, no, you're this now, but that's a like a team building event. Nope, that's who you are as a person. Go do that. Okay.
Such a weird thing. Idris Inoue and Malik Blade team up to take on MSK in the semifinals of the Dusty Cup. You guessed it. The bracket busters no more. MSK win it. It's a good match. Again, Inoue and Blade are a good team. They have so much charisma in those backstage segments. As dumb as those segments are, they're entertaining.
Oh, they're very fun. I mean, they gained the most so far out of this, I think. Like, the Creed brothers will be victorious ultimately, and they'll get that rub. MSK just needed to be present. They and get to the finals. They don't need to win this. Like, this is just, they've repaired the damage from the thing before with the parents. So it's good.
Yeah, exactly. MSK get the win. Nothing super special outside of this match being good. Go ahead, watch it if you get a chance. MSK and Creeds are at ringside. They are just jaw-jacking near the trophy, and that's how we end that one. Now, it's good. I gotta keep that same energy. A VW bus. I don't get it. Anyway, Cameron Grimes, because I had to go from one scream to another, does a vignette where he's at the trailer park. He ain't ever going back unless it's to put the NXT North American Championship on the mantle. I think it's cute that he thinks that mantles exist in the trailer park. Good for him.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Shit, you get a bunch of money. You choose to live in a trailer park. You can live large. The hell with it. If you're not too particular about your home space.
Maybe he owns it.
Maybe he owns the. Oh, don't be that. That's gross. Just a trailer park slumlord.
It's an investment, Tim.
It's scummetry. Scummetry? Anyway.
Scumbaggery?
I don't give a crap.
Either way, he's not a landlord. He's just revisiting his old stomping grounds. He thinks he's the guy who's going to win the North American Championship, and I'm fine with that. I don't really expect it, but I would love to see it because, again, this is the year where Cameron Grimes focuses on winning championships instead of being the guy who, has weird matches and feuds for $1 million championships.
Yeah, I'm fine. You know what? Have him win the title or have him lose the title and do other things, but don't keep him in NXT if you do.
And that's the thing. Someone's going to eventually have to beat Mello, and then Mello will go on and probably face Breaker for the title, or they'll do. I don't want them to do another title for title match.
I hate that. I hate that about NXT though, where like the person loses one championship and then becomes it's just silly. Like
that's everywhere. Not everywhere. That's WWE. That's main
WWE. And it's just like, stop. Like, I don't know. There's got to be a different way to go about this. It just feels dumb.
Never. Dakota Kai runs into Wendy Chu again in the backstage, and she's like, "It's not as easy as it looks." And I like that.
No. She's like,
is a bitch about it. Yes,
she looks. She's like
being a bitch. I love it.
She's being a bitch. Dakota Kai is. Someone pointed out in the chat. She's just a gremlin right now. She's rooting through people's stuff. Wouldn't be surprised we find her eating some garbage. Like,
my precious.
Yeah, like that's exactly she's serving that energy. That's what she's serving.
That's the energy you want to keep. By the way, if you want good energy, you should go ahead and toss us a thumbs up on the video. Okay, go ahead, do that. And we'll take your super chats. We'll take your humper chats. Go to humperchats.com. We talk about this wrestling every single day here on Fightful Overbooked. And let's keep it going. Kaylee Ray versus Mandy Rose. That's the main event. And this match I quite enjoyed despite the finish, because I think it's time that we finally give Mandy Rose a little bit of props for her abilities, her renewed abilities.
It wasn't that long of a match, but it was good.
That was like an 8-minute match. The weird beatdown in the back, I liked that they went to that. I think that was kind of neat. Other than that, match was good. If you have someone like Kaylee Ray to work with, then you're probably going to have a real good match too. You have nothing else to add to that, eh?
No, I thought it was dope. I just it's a shame that they, it makes sense, I guess. It's just weird that we're going to Kaylee Ray and Dakota and Io Shirai. I don't know. I just feel like Kaylee Ray doesn't need to be here in high school. I feel like she's graduated and they sorely need the additional performers. So what are we doing?
If this is Kaylee Ray's, it's not going to be her swan song, because Io Shirai comes out, saves the day. Io Shirai and Kaylee Ray are going to be a tag team for the Dusty Cup. If Kaylee Ray comes up after Mania, that's fine with me. I think that's perfect.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, she doesn't need too much. She had a great outing in NXT UK. This was just an opportunity for the US crowd to get to know Kaylee Ray, who now needs to go on a tear.
Yes. Yeah. Right after this, just rip through and then dip.
Yeah. So again, the pre-match stuff with Parada and Hartwell beating up Toxic Attraction on their way out, I like that. That was a good little extra. And then them getting involved in the match afterwards, post Mackenzie Mitchell coming on the PA being like, we kicked them out of the venue. They aren't going to be here anymore. But then they show up. Don't love that.
It really, I don't know. The only thing is, again, this is so comically on high school brand. It's just, this is just girl gangs fighting over rumors. And it's the dumbest thing.
Girl gangs. I love it.
Yeah.
Vengeance Day is next week. We'll talk about it next week. I'm looking forward to the card because I think it's going to be a real good match. A real good set of matches, I should say.
Set of matches, yeah.
Set of matches.
Even though LA Knight versus Grayson Waller isn't a match, it's an arrest for some reason.
It's an arrest. I love this idea that it's just oh yeah, we're gonna have the arrest of LA Knight, on the air next week on Sci-Fi.
Grayson, he is just such a perfect douche. The interviewer in the backstage just being like, "So are you calling for a match next week?" He's like, "News flash, no, it's an arrest." It's okay.
Why is he so redneck when you do it?
I don't know. I don't know how to do Australians.
Oh, that's how I feel. It's my one time. Anyway, let's move on to Raw. Let's talk about Raw real quick.
Yeah, we spent 30 minutes talking about NXT.
Yeah, well, here we are. It was last night. Why not? Quiz Bowl was fun. I enjoyed the segment. What do you think?
I enjoyed it too.
Do you know how many ounces are in a gram? Gram in an ounce, whatever it is.
28 grams, 1 ounce. Although Randy screwed up the line, and I was like,
how did he screw up the line?
He's so it was supposed to be you think you're the only one that what was the last word he said? Bakes. He was supposed to say he was supposed to say you're the only one. He said, you think I'm the only one that bakes? And I was like, oh, you baked just before this segment.
I didn't even think about that. He was too busy rolling on the floor laughing about Shane McMahon entering the Royal Rumble. That's what he was doing.
At number 1.
That's right. He should have been. Oh my goodness. Subscribe to Fightful Select to hear all the weirdest, funniest shit you'll ever hear. Gable being such a dick. I love it. Shout out to Chad Gable.
Hey, he's getting signs. He's getting over. People are digging it. They like heel Gable. He's doing a very good job. The don't boo education is a great line. Very solid line.
Now, here's the thing. I think Full Sail should be paying WWE a king's ransom, because they're getting over the fact that they have a successful 4.0 graduate on their hands.
I don't know about that. If anything, it's besmirching the school. You've got a heel who is shown to be kind of a dipshit week over week.
Fair. By the way, shout out to Corey in the chat saying, until Joel's never been to a trailer park. Some of them do have fireplaces. Well, today I learned.
Wood burning stove. I don't know. Oh, man.
It's one of those small
trailer.
Ones,
is that a mini? There's
you
got trailers and you got mini homes. There's a little bit of a difference.
You ever watch those tiny house videos on YouTube?
Yeah, for a long time I was like,
I still do
tiny houses. But now I was like, no, I'm a hoarder.
Can't do it. I can't.
As a musician,
I
it's
don't know about
not possible. Like I see, and there's a bunch of musicians who like do it on social media. It's like, nah, man, I got too much bullshit. You ain't trying very hard. Like
no one in Toronto is doing that. Anyway,
no,
the Hamlet joke, by the way, the ham. I thought that was stupidly hilarious.
that was a ham.
Ham.
But he was also, he knew the answer, and Gable wouldn't
Did.
listen. It was Gable's a jerk.
That's going to be the thing. That's
anyway. I live in less than 900 square feet now. I don't need a tiny home. I'm in a tiny home.
Your house just needs more ham. Anyway, it's because we're commercial free. Let's keep rolling. Street Profits come out. They have a match versus the Alpha Academy. The Alpha Academy win it. Sure, why not? Good to go. I have nothing else to add to this other than the match was good. Because
it was a standard Street Profits match, right? Like I feel like they've got a formula down for these types of matches. Like they show out for the ones that matter, but they know when it doesn't matter. They come out, they do the promo on the ramp, even though they're going to lose. They do all of the hits, and then they lose.
First hour Raw was commercial free, or at least commercial limited, and people were complaining, whatever, I don't care. But I had forgotten for a minute, and they kept throwing to these like Instagram photos of the week or plugging a TV show on Sci-Fi, and I was just like, they're doing really good at like not going commercial. And I was like, oh shit, that's right, they're not doing commercials for the first hour. I completely forgot.
Yeah, and they were just, they're running ads for themselves and ads for like, did they pay the wrestlers extra to use the content on their Instagram? Probably
you have
not,
one guess and you just got it right.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
And it's just like, what the I don't care what they post. I would follow them on Instagram if I cared.
Yeah, exactly. MVP brings out Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley says a bunch of things about collisions with consequences. I had nothing to say about this promo. It was fine. They just wanted to bring Lashley out at home.
Yeah, that's all it was. And it felt like and remember, he's from Colorado. Nobody forget.
Exactly. And on top of that, he's going to win the chamber, blah, blah, blah. Just the traditional champion up against the wall. I'm going to win. But apparently he's not the heel. Anyway, I'm just going through the rest of this, and wow, that was a long ass promo. Holy crap! I have a lot of notes.
Did you see someone posted on Twitter, and they're just like, "I hate this," and it was them just staring at their backs the whole time because the entirety of the promo was to hard cam.
That was Will Washington, who hosts Grapsity and Day After Dynamite here on Fightful Overbooked. So yeah, Will was at the show, and he said the same thing that I always say: like you're performing, you're just looking at ass all night if you're facing hard cam. That's why whenever I buy tickets, I get them at the last minute, and then I walk around to the hard cam. I go slowly down the stairs. I sit there. No one says a word because I'm not causing any trouble, and I'm watching the show as God intended it. The God being Kevin Dunn, because in that show, that arena, he's the God.
Got it.
AJ Styles, Damian Priest have a championship contenders match. Sure, why not? Styles wins. We're going to do Damian Priest keeps losing. Is he going to lose this title this next week? What do you think?
Yes.
Great. Awesome. Wicked. I have nothing to add to that.
And then WrestleMania, Damian Priest versus AJ Styles.
I'm so upset about Damian Priest not seeing much of the victory scales these days. It's just silly.
Again, because they just like, it feels very much like what happens in like too deep of a bureaucracy where like someone along the chain constantly just feels the need to put their stamp on things, even when it's not necessary. Like they just want to tweak it unnecessarily just because they want to say that like, oh, I helped. But like Damian Priest was fine just being Razor Ramon.
Yeah.
Let him just be Razor Ramon on the main. Like he doesn't have to be this like Jekyll and Hyde nonsense, but here we are. And that last little like, oh, I helped really just kind of buried it. So
helped what? Anyway, Miz is hosting Miz TV, and it's Miz is now playing the role of Randy Orton, playing the role of Eddie Guerrero, playing the role of everyone Ray has ever faced, where Dominic is involved, and we have to talk about the fact that Eddie is actually Dominic's father.
Like that's the thing. It's just again WWE being like, remember when we did a good thing long time ago, eh?
So what are we gonna do now? Now it's gonna be Bray and Miz either at the Elimination Chamber show, or it's gonna be Ray and Miz at WrestleMania in a one-on-one match. What do we do? What's the point?
God, it might be garbage. Ray and Miz at WrestleMania. There you go.
And you'll like Dominic. Put Dominic and Ray at WrestleMania. Have Ray and Miz have a match at the Elimination Chamber where Dominic finally turns on Ray. Let's just get there. Let's get it over with.
Here's how we get there. Ray finally confesses that Eddie is, in fact, Dominic's father. And then they wrestle at WrestleMania.
It's about time. Anyway, I have nothing else to add about Miz TV. It becomes a match between Dominic and Miz. Dominic somehow wins because I'm sure Ray gets
because Ray, I liked the cheater thing. That, Miz being all hurt, even though he's like, yeah, he cheated to win that, and then doing the old like
steals.
Yeah.
That's all I got. Do you want to continue with that thought, or do you want to move forward?
I don't care. I like Miz Dad. Let's do that.
Yeah, let's do Miz and Miz Dad. They deserve all the
Miz
money.
Dad. He was so wholesome. Put his little dukes up.
Bianca Belair beats Nikki ASH. Nothing to add there. That happened.
What a surprise.
Let's talk about the real stars of the show. R-Truth and Tamina looking for Dana Brooke, who has Reggie. And it's a will they or won't they, Tim? Are Dana Brooke and Reggie going to be a couple next?
Oh, man, I don't care.
Here's what they do. You have Dana Brooke and Reggie teasing this will they or won't they for so long. Finally, they kiss and then they're happy together. Oh, my God. The next week, Reggie shows up. He's going to propose. He gets down on one knee and he says, will you? Boom, rolls her up 1, 2, 3, wins the 24/7 championship, runs off, and there we go. Reggie is your new 24/7 champion, and love is dead.
Yeah, that's perfect. It's extremely predictable, but yep, probably. I'm not going to let you claim this one if they do this and be like, see, they're watching. No. This was too obvious. They can't miss this one. They can't. They're so like, I don't know. They've been setting it up and not doing the right thing consistently for a little while now, though. So,
KO and Austin Theory have another match. Owens wins because, of course, he got a 50-50 everything. But the best part about this whole thing is when Kevin Owens goes to the back and pleads his case to Sonya and Adam Pearce, saying, Texas loves me. I am Texas born, Texas bred. And when I go to WrestleMania, everyone else will be Texas dead. He's wearing a cowboy hat. He should be wearing a cowboy hat. Now from every week moving forward, I need that cowboy hat to come back. And Kevin Owens needs to win it. I need
with his subtle Montreal accent. Like
yes, I need Stone Cold Kevin Owens. And I also need Stone Cold Aaliyah, because that's just, if we're gonna have Aaliyah 317 and we're gonna have KO giving stunners out and talking about being beloved in Texas. I mean, listen, Stone Cold coming out at WrestleMania in Texas and like doing a thing with Kevin Owens and Stone Cold, those two, I'd love that.
Oh, that'd be very good.
But what I really want,
that'd be a good Mania thing. Do it.
I just want Stone Cold to gift Aaliyah his entire gimmick. You did such a good job of beating Italia in 3 minutes, 16 seconds. I'm going to give you my beer. I'm going to give you my hat. And I'm going to give you my bald head. I don't want to shave my head. Too bad you take the whole gimmick, son.
Then he crowbars her in the knees and
what?
He had knee braces. She's gonna need a knee brace.
That's right.
I just like, man. Again, that would just be like both the women's evolution and WWE being like, remember when we did a good thing? They just
ridiculous. Oh my goodness.
That would be great. We should do that. And then Aaliyah would have, she'd be set for life.
Yeah, exactly. It's set for life. Aaliyah 316, Aaliyah 317, Aaliyah with the bald head. Give me a hell yeah. Anyway, Alita comes out. Alita and Becky have one hell of a segment. I really enjoyed this. Not because of Lita, because Lita's not exactly known for being a great promo, but no. I love that of all people, it's going to be Becky. Becky's going to carry this, and this is going to be a testament to how great Becky is as a performer and as a wrestler. And if those two can carry it to a match and a little feud that's going to have some sort of positive effect, I'm in for it.
Yeah, I think it'll be very, very good. And I don't know if anyone's going to make it all just come together. I think it's Becky, the good partner here.
Yeah. By the way, shout out to Becky Lynch for taking the Twist of Fate properly. And also
Yes.
that moonsault from Lita looked really good.
Yeah. Killing
Good
it.
stuff. That was the crossover in hour 3. And now Sonya Deville's wearing an arm sling because apparently she's going to be in a tag team match 2 weeks on SmackDown that hasn't been announced yet, but it'll be Sonya Deville and Charlotte Flair versus Naomi and Ronda Rousey. Just get ready for that. It's going to happen after they do the tag match. So Sonya Deville's in the back, and that was the Kevin Owens thing. Maybe he's not going to be on WrestleMania, Tim. Anyway, Doudrop beats Liv Morgan. Not much else to say there.
Yeah, they're just like, okay, yeah, we got to make Doudrop a beast going into the chamber because she's going beast in the chamber. So
Alexa Bliss. Let's talk about Alexa Bliss in the therapy. She's regressing, Tim.
she regret. Well, I don't know. There was progress that happens. You take a step forward.
She
2 steps forward, 1 step back.
step
That's
back.
what we'll do. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you gotta take 1 step back if you're gonna swing a baguette that hard at someone's head, right? Committing assault, Bradley assault with a weapon.
Not that either. Couple of misses tonight, today.
I've been up early. I can get all these bad jokes in while I'm at. Anyway, so Lily might be dead, but Lily's also still available for sale at WWE Shop.
You got all that stock. You got to get rid of it somehow.
Dude, they got rid of all that stock at SummerSlam like that. So,
oh, man, people, y'all dumb. Stop buying their garbage.
Stop giving them money and start giving us money. Give us your super chats. We will
buy our garbage.
Dolls. Yeah, buy our garbage. We're going to have merch eventually, but y'all have to start giving us a reason to do it. Anyway, the therapist still has work to do because clearly Alexa Bliss is not fully healed from her problems with Lily, whatever that means.
Didn't we get a number of segments? What are we on? Was this number 6 and 7 that night?
Probably, yeah. I mean,
stay tuned for the thrilling conclusion next week.
I hope so. God, unless it's literally per Raw and it's 9 weeks of this shit.
Oh my God. No, they've been doing 2.
If it's next week, then that gives credence to what we're about to talk about. Excuse me, with the Women's Elimination Chamber. Yeah. So let's get to the final. It's Riddle versus Seth Rollins, and that turns into RK Bro versus Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens, because Kevin Owens just kind of shows up and beats down Riddle, and then it becomes a 2-on-1, and then
we're restarting this as our tag match because this is what we do. Because later you're going to see Riddle versus Seth Rollins probably for the main title in a year or 2.
Shout out to Corey Graves who makes a reference about making this a tag match, playa. And I was absolutely floored. I think it was a really good touch. Shout out to Teddy Long. And that was Owens and Rollins get the win over RK Bro. Now, you and I talked about RK Bro versus Owens and Rollins at Mania as a Raw tag team title match. I still think
the schmaz finish to the singles match. The silver lining.
The crowbar to the knees.
I don't even know how Austin actually injured those knees, but if you need it in a hurry.
He just had bum knees. I can't do it.
He just had bum. I just got bum. I can't do it either. Damn it.
I gotta actually stop laughing to do it.
What were we talking about? Yes. Okay. The silver lining to that crummy finish to the singles match. The good news is that it still gives me hope that would be one hell of a mania match. And I really hope that RK Bro is a thing, regains their titles, and has that match with KO and Seth.
Easy peasy.
Yeah.
Or we do Owens versus Rollins at Mania for the US Championship. Which
again, we
can go there.
I know. It's just, I know everyone wants to forget that the time when WWE didn't have fans, which I didn't mind. I don't really care if there's fans there or not.
Are you saying we have to go back to the Thunderdome, Tim? Are you an advocate for the Thunderdome?
Absolutely not. I am not an advocate for. I am just not willing to completely negate everything that happened there. And they already did Seth and KO at Mania, and it was good. Let's do something different.
But there was nobody there to react.
I don't care.
But
that doesn't mean it needs to happen.
Partner. The dance partner is the audience.
They're not most of the time, and they're not even now. They're still piping in so much noise.
It's true. They really are. They were doing it on NXT as well.
Yeah, on NXT where there's 200 of the same Floridians in there.
Yeah, chanting for triple threat 4-way match. Like, shut up. Do not do this. We're not doing a triple threat. We're not doing a 4-way. It's one-on-one. Get away. Go. Anyway, back to Raw. Yes. I do think there's a WrestleMania match for those 4 as a tag, but it really comes down to whether or not RK Bro regains the tag titles this or I guess at is it Elimination Chamber? No, because Riddle's in the chamber next week.
Next week, yeah.
The RK Broga party, which by the way, Broga is a form of men's yoga, so someone's going to get a C&D. So anyway, the women's elimination chamber match was announced, and I got to take a victory lap because once again, Brock's never been in the chamber, Bianca's never been in the chamber, but it's a good time to get both of these people wins so that they can get their way to WrestleMania, or in Brock's case, another championship so that he can do title for title at Mania or whatever. So they've announced Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, Doudrop, and Nikki ASH, which, by the way, the Nikki ASH thing just blew my mind. It's so that she can jump off the top of the chamber. It's got to be, right?
Yeah.
Got to be. And a mystery.
A mystery. Wonder why. Yeah, that's good management. Great job, kayfabe, Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville, who did not do any qualifying, just like threw these 5, but couldn't for the life of them think of a 6th person to add. Maybe,
who's it gonna be?
Could have been Dana Brooke, current championship holder.
I think it should be Dana Brooke.
It won't be.
Why not? Why can't it be Dana Brooke?
Because it's probably going to be Alexa Bliss.
It could be Alexa Bliss. What if it's Asuka? Asuka's cleared.
Could be
Asuka. Could be wrestling.
Yeah.
Why not Asuka? It could be Sasha Banks. They don't care about the alignments on
they
the.
They don't care. Doesn't matter
on
at
Raw
all.
SmackDown.
Who needs to get paid to go to Saudi?
We're trading people back and forth because Big E's back on SmackDown. So maybe Sasha Banks comes to Raw.
Maybe.
Who else is there? Who else could it be? We had Alexa. It could be Tamina. Why not Tamina?
It's because it's not Tamina.
Why can't it be Tamina? Explain yourself.
Because they don't like Tamina.
I think they really like Tamina. You're just being a dick.
Nah, they don't like Tamina.
If I like Tamina, you like Tamina. It could be. What about Bailey? Bailey's teasing. It could be her.
I don't think it's Bailey.
It's probably not Bailey. I think she's still learning how to box jump. What about Lacey Evans? Lacey Evans, the formerly pregnant, now has a child and is in very good shape.
Yeah, she's gonna go deliver some women's rights to Saudi Arabia.
You were sitting on that joke. I didn't even get to think about that one before.
Someone's gotta. Why not Lacey Evans?
I think Alexa Bliss is the most likely, but to bring her in just to have her lose the chamber, unless they bring her in and she's not really part of the chamber thing, but more a part of the losing her shit in the chamber. Like, it's not about her going to Mania for a championship. It's her being like losing her shit.
Given their track record with stuff like that, and with even the Fiends specifically, like I wouldn't be surprised if it's like a quick meltdown, and then the commentary acts all like, "What's going on? What do we do?" And then like she's out of the match, and like maybe even have her go like start the match and just have an absolute freak out, and then the first person just has to wait, and they ham it up for the crowd.
I mean, I'm trying to think, like, normally something comes out of these Elimination Chamber matches in terms of like who's going to be with who's going to fight whom. And like Nikki and Rhea had a thing that's seemingly done, but I'm sure they'll reattach
No, they'll play it out in the chamber too. Like,
Bianca wins the match.
Yes.
Liv and Doudrop just had a match. They'll probably have another one on Raw where Liv Morgan wins.
Yeah.
And now we have to do something with this fantasy entrant. If it's Alexa Bliss, what does Bliss do for WrestleMania? Alexa Bliss versus Doudrop.
I don't know. I feel like they haven't really had a good handle on what to do with Alexa Bliss for Mania, because she hosted that one year. She did that god awful Fiend thing that other year. Like,
what about like you could do Bliss and Nikki ASH in another tag team, but a different tag team. But I think the women's tag match, I think it's going to be Carmella and Zelina versus the Bellas.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know.
Likely. I don't like I said, we could have done some god awful thing with Nikki ASH versus Alexa, but like they turned Nikki, and Alexa is losing this gimmick. So like, I really don't know what the plan is.
Asuka comes in and it's Asuka versus who knows. Like again, whoever comes in, it looks like they're either going to be a part of a tag team or they're going to what? They're going to win the battle royal. Like, what does that mean?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, because that's the thing. I keep forgetting they're going to just whoever they don't know what to do with it, just shove in the battle royal and they're there, and it's like okay.
Just honestly, just make it Lacey Evans. Have Lacey come back because she's done the Saudi loop before. She knows.
I think they're going to. I
is.
honestly feel like she is the most likely because
Yeah.
I don't know, and then they can pat themselves on the Magnets and women's right jokes too. It's not clever, and there's no actual benefit to this. They're not accomplishing anything. You dipshit! Don't say otherwise.
By the way, the 1 week that I missed the bump, Teddy Long was on. After I give Corey Graves props for making a Teddy Long reference, they brought Teddy Long on the bump. Good for him. Let's talk about Dynamite. We got a AEW Dynamite tonight. If you want to talk about reckless speculation, our show on Sunday, which by the way did numbers for this channel because we're good, Tim. That's available now on Fightful Overbooked, wherever you find your podcast app or on the channel, whichever. So we got a Texas Dead match for the AEW World Championship. It's Adam Page, the Hangman, versus Lance Archer. Does everybody die tonight, Tim? Or,
everyone dies. No one survives. The apocalypse rains down from. They're in Texas. Yeah, Texas.
They're in. Are they in Texas tonight? No,
I don't know. Where are they?
No, they're in New Jersey.
Oh, that's so far from Texas. That's so not Texas.
That's like that's a different form of hell, is what that is. A bunch of people from New Jersey just got real upset and left a dislike on this video. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do the dislike thing.
Oh, come on, Guidos. Be nice.
Well, Guido is still wrestling to this day. So what do you think? Lance Archer is going to win the AEW championship, right?
No, obviously not. Never. He will consistently be like somebody's second challenger while they figure out who's going to actually challenge.
Yeah, that makes sense. Adam Page winning this match looks good. It's not an easy win in a match, but it's an easy choice to have him win and look good. And then what do you have? Do you have Adam Cole then stake his claim for the AEW championship with 3 weeks to go until?
No, Revolution? That doesn't seem long enough to me. I think maybe we find someone else as an interim thing.
I still want to know who Adam Page is going to face at Revolution with 3 weeks to go until the pay-per-view.
Oh, see, I hate this structure. It freaks me out. I get so confused with these like quarterly pay-per-views. It really just messes me up.
And they're not even quarterly. They're just weird.
Yeah, I've just been indoctrinated by WWE's format. So like, it's always like, yeah, there's a thing every month, but there really isn't. I get so lost.
Yeah, exactly. It's very strange. Regardless, we'll find out tonight who is going to face Adam Page after he retains his championship.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's going to be Lance Archer getting the win and then they have a rematch at Revolution.
Let's not do that. But like, yeah, I think it's too soon for MJF. I think it's too soon for Adam Cole. I want a better build for those two. So I don't know who to throw at him. If it's MJF should just win. Like, if we jump that quickly, I think screw it. Like,
speaking of MJF, he is going to be on the show and he's going to cut a promo and I'm sure he's going to say I beat CM Punk twice in his hometown and he's going to get a lot of heat for it and it's going to be really good. But other than that, I don't really know what else we can hear from MJF. Is he going to stake his claim for the title? It seems like he wants the TNT title when Wardlow wins face of the Revolution ladder match.
Which I think is like the better way to get to their breakup. And then later down the road, we get MJF versus Adam Page.
Okay, so MJF wins the AEW World Championship. Wardlow wins the TNT Championship. The two of them have a unification match. And the winner
there's no mid-card or upper card title, so you might as well put them together.
And then Cody Rhodes comes back and he challenges for the AEW World Championship because once again, Cody Rhodes is like, I wanted the TNT title, but now that you've merged them,
you've smushed them together. What could I possibly do?
There we go. Cody Rhodes wins the AEW World Championship by challenging and defeating MJF after MJF has put both titles together. There we go. We did it.
Yeah,
look at us booking
Cody Rhodes his just desserts.
There we go. Isaiah Cassidy is going to take on the free agent signee. There's a billion people it could be. Shout out to Mikey Ruckus for saying last night, "Oh, I wanted to make my Wordle answer the same as the theme that I'm working on," and everyone's like, "Oh, Keith is 5 words.
5
Cross
letters.
is 5 letters. Cross is 5 letters. And I'm like, Juice is also 5 letters.
Yeah, I think someone talked about me not popping for Jay White, and I was like, well, okay, Jay White was on Impact like 6 months ago, so whoa, what an earth-shattering appearance that would be. And like again, it's not in that segment I mentioned.
Sorry,
like,
I know that I know that they're behind us, but Ivory should be the forbidden door.
Yeah, absolutely.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I think that was for the Elimination Chamber. I think they were saying put Ivory in the chamber.
It absolutely is. But I just love the idea that they're actually caught up to us, and now they're Ivory should be the free agent signed to AEW.
Sorry, but yeah, I'm just saying, like, what I was saying is, like, in that segment, I mentioned, like, I don't follow New Japan, like, so that's why I don't care. Like, whoever comes out, I won't know who it is. What's that?
Someone tried to roast you in the comments about that.
Yeah, I know. And it's like I said in the segment, the reason why this would not pop for me is because I don't know any of them. Like,
yeah.
And it's like, I don't care that most AEW fans do. That doesn't matter. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about me. And for me, not a damn person from New Japan is going to be exciting for me because I don't know who they are.
I hear you.
And that's fine. You can get excited. I just don't know who they are. So like, meh.
Hey man, set your expectations accordingly, because it could be anyone. It could be anybody. It could be Regal. Maybe there's 5 letters right there. Regal. It's William Regal coming back to stake his claim for a ladder match.
That feels very Christian to me. That feels very much like the Christian. It's like, oh, okay, yeah,
okay. And Isaiah Cassidy wins. That's the thing. I want this match to be
Samoa
Isaiah Cassidy
is 5
winning.
letters.
There you go. Samoa is 5 letters. It's Samoa Joe. We did it. Look at us. Wordle and Mikey Ruckus be damned. We figured it out.
The only thing that complicates this for me is the slam the door with their former employer, which again, like for a lot of people who show up, if they're a former WWE guy, like you have to immediately cut a promo shitting on WWE to justify Tony Khan's nonsense. And if it's New Japan, it has to be like somebody currently under contract. What is that? You have a good relationship with them. So how is that slamming the door?
So there's a lot of just weird, and again, and I made this joke already, so people, please stop. It's Cody Rhodes. I've already said this, but it's Cody R. So that's your Wordle association. It's Cody. Cody comes out. I've made this joke 50 times now, so I'll do it one more time just because y'all don't hear it all the time. Cody comes out with Tony Khan in hand. They're linked arm in arm, and then they raise each other's arms and just happiness and jubilation as Cody Rhodes with his AEW portfolio opens it up, and Tony Khan bends his back over, and Cody signs on Tony's back, and free agent Cody Rhodes no more. He's part of the Revolution ladder match. There we go.
Boom. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, just be like, I signed a contract for life.
There we go. He's like, Nick Gage can sign with GCW. Well, I can too. And then Tony's like, no, you can't. You can't. You're signed with AEW now.
Yeah.
There we go. Anyway, Inner Circle's having a team meeting that probably should have been an email. And you know what? I decided today, Tim, that the Inner Circle should all walk away from influencer Chris Jericho and join up with a real influencer. Danhausen.
Yeah.
The Inner Circle Hausen? Yeah.
I feel like Proud and Powerful would fit pretty well. They were face paint.
There you go. See, everyone will be very nice, very evil, very Boricua. Let's go. Anyway, I got nothing else to add.
Let's get out of here. I got a work meeting to go to.
Tim, tell them where they can find you on the internet.
They can find me at Tim Stone P, TIMBSTONEP, Twitter, Instagram.
Show is Tim and Joel Pod. That's not the website anymore, but maybe it will be. Who knows? It's Fightful Overbooked. FightfulOverbooked.com or YouTube.com/Fightful Overbooked. If you're listening to us on the audio realm, thank you. Drop us a 5-star review. Gets our friends and your friends together in our ears, and we all hang out together in each other's ears. We drop content every day. I am at Joel Pearl, JoelPearl. Ladies, gentlemen, friends beyond the binary. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers.